Yeah. So we've had a pretty slow week this week, to be honest. I'll put it down to maybe the last of the school holidays. You know, the kids are starting to go back to school, and it's been a bit odd to really do anything apart from chill, really. So yeah, we haven't really seen too much. Nobody actually came in and took advantage of my Adler special, my Adler tactical special. So I'm going to run that again this week, or this, you know, for the following week. So if you guys want an Adler tactical, an FDE or black,
Hasn't they hit you one?
no, there it goes.
Got one on the shelf. It's got one in there.
Everybody knows what an Adler tactical looks like.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear it.
All right, come on, bring me an Adler tactical. So, yeah, come down. I think I've got them on. They were 9:30. I've got them down going for like 8:25. So get down here, have a squiz at those. They're definitely a good thing. The other things that we do have on the shelf currently that are going to be extremely hard to get in the coming months. Marlin 336 1030 stainless, as you can see, stainless wood. Oh, hang on, he's bought me out one. Here we go. Bring it over here.
Oh,
Bring it over here. Adler Tactical FDE. Have a look at that. 5-round box mag. We do have 10-round mags on order, so if you guys are one of those mad bastards that needs a 10-rounder, well, they'll be coming. But these things here, awesome setup. Great if you want to go hit pigs, and the tactical look on them is just wicked, you know. Especially these ones in FDE, I'm actually really impressed with those. Pistol grip, it's got the pretty cool ghost ring sights on them. So get down, pick these up while I've got them, because I'm only going to run the special on the ones that are in the store. If I have to order in the next ones, back up to full price. So I think I've got, what, 7
of those and
6 of the black ones left, something like that. So get down, get them while they're here. Otherwise, you're just going to miss out on them. Yeah. Bam. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, as you guys know, Marlin.
Are you just wanting an example of a nozzler case?
A little bit hard to get at the moment. Hopefully that'll come good sooner rather than later. But we do have pretty much one of the last 336s in captivity. This one, stainless wood. Got it at a really reasonable $18.95, so get down and grab that before you can't get that one anymore. And we've also got the 1894 Dark Series in 357 Magnum. We have thrown just a name point on here just to give you a bit of a look.
That in 7mm.
Ah,
6.4. 260. 22.
it's good to talk.
Well, they do make a 6mm version. Oh, okay.
16¼ inch barrel, threaded, so if you want to put a muzzle brake on because you're a bit of a girl, you can. Got one of the excess rails on it, so nice setup there. You can throw on whatever you want to throw on. It is in the dark, so it is wood painted black. It's got the ghost ring at the back there. Beautiful setup. Big loop wrapped in shoelace, and it comes with a sling. So this one is a little bit more expensive, running in at $23.75, but well worth it. Top of my head, I think.
Well, it might be the last of the Marlins that you see.
Exactly, it's the last at the moment. So get in here and grab them before they go.
I've been unofficially told that you're not going to see a Marlin in the original sort of format ever again. Like now that Ruger have it, they're not going to make the original Marlin designs.
they're going to change the design.
I didn't bring any of the, I didn't buy any of the machinery, tooling, or anything like that. I
Or
bought
designs, yeah. They just bought the name Marlin.
Yeah.
Brendan,
Oh fuck.
$21.95, I think it was, 23. $23.75 on the Magnum, mate. So if you want it, let me know. I'll put it aside for you. But yeah, get down and grab them, mate.
That has to be the most popular Marlin model they make.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Between that and the real cheap shit one, which is shit now.
Which one's
Like
that?
back in the day, the 336A is what it was originally called, and it just had hardwood stocks and
Oh,
it
so
was in blue.
that's the W now?
No, well, yeah, the W now is not the same. Like it's a really
It's a higher
cheaply made piece of crap,
Oh, right.
relatively speaking to the old one. So the A and the SS were the two biggest
Yeah.
sellers.
And this one's awesome, you know. Stainless steel, sexy as fuck. Oh,
Back when pig shooting was getting popular back in 2004,
would own one.
felt sell those things.
I would own one. Cool. Are you up there, Bill? I'm just going to pretend to shoot a pig over there. Fuck, mister. Oh.
You get that a lot, I suppose.
Nah, don't. Don't even need to aim where I fucking shoot.
Yeah. I bet you've shot every pig you've aimed at. That's what
Exactly.
I did.
Every single one.
Alright, old shit would build. Except it's Zaine's shit would build because he's ratted all the fucking bullets out of my fucking ammo collection and they're all going to go back in the wrong spots.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'll
good.
just lump them all together. I thought I might talk about something that is absolute flavour of the month. They've made this cartridge that's got a laser in it that you just have to whisper to it that you want to hit a certain target and bang, it does it. And everyone knows it's a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Hang on, we can't see much from there. Let's.
Creedmoor, eh? Look at that.
Greatest cartridge in the history of cartridges.
Don't you love it how Bill's put down a blue sheet over the white bench and then put down white paper on the blue sheet so it'll stand out?
Yeah.
Actually, does stand out pretty well. That's
He
not
should have
bad.
just drawn on the fucking bench. It's not like the bench is that
Do
pretty.
not draw on my benches.
But the funny thing about this Creedmoor is that it seems like the Yanks have only just discovered 6.5 in the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, did you want a 260 Remington?
Well, I was thinking about that, but
Yeah, I'll go and
anyway.
grab one.
But it all started in 1894, and I suppose, you know, emails and bloody phone things like that weren't the flavour of the day, so the Yanks never heard about 6.5 until much later. But the Swedes were onto it.
It's cheap.
It's not,
There you go.
and funnily enough,
What's not?
Did you get that out of your personal collection, Zane?
That one.
Oh, I know how much you like 260. Did you?
It is in my personal collection.
Oh yeah.
I built one.
What rifle do you
Fucking
have?
10 years
this is
ago.
about the,
I don't have one. I built one for someone else.
Oh right.
I built one for Nick Holtz, who's an avid watcher of ours.
Nicky Holtz.
Yeah, but it was on a single shot, so
Yeah.
it wasn't a piece of shit.
shot
It actually shot really well.
Yeah.
But I can tell you why it's 260 Remington's a piece of shit.
But yeah, back in 1894, the Swedes were after a new military rifle. They had a single shot rolling block type rifle up until then, and they were tossing up between getting a Mauser built to their specs or the Krag Jorgensen, which the Norwegians army adopted, the Krag, and the Yanks, funnily enough, adopted the Krag rifle at about the same time. The Yanks had it in 30 Krag, they call it, and or 30-40, because it was originally a black powder cartridge, 40 grains of black powder, 30 calibre projectile. About equivalent roughly to a 303 British, very similar in dimensions too. I know a particular person back in the dark ages, 25 years ago, who had one of these Krags in 30-40. And funnily enough, 303 ammo fitted in it, and he used to use it with 303 ammo. And it never blew up, which gives you a good indication of how strong they were in those days. Cause
Well, it was fucking good luck rather than good management. It could have easily have all gone wrong. Fucking,
but he was shooting 311 projectiles down a 308 barrel.
yeah, fucking dangerous is what that's called.
I'm gonna agree with Zane.
Anyway,
It's not like Krag Jorgensen were fucking ahead of their time or anything.
a big, they had a single lug lockup, front
Yeah.
lock with a single lug lockup, yeah, and a bolt handle in a groove. That's all you need.
Like, what you just described is the closest thing to suicide I've ever fucking heard.
I know.
30 years ago, I used to drive down the road highway at 190 k's an hour, and I never got caught.
On the wrong side of the road.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Just proof that fucking you can do that.
Yeah, well, it just proves that you can do it. Anyway, it probably was a terribly worn Krag barrel, you never know. I had seen the rifle,
say
it was
so.
still in one piece when I saw it.
Either that or it was a squeeze ball.
But
Only shoot at those projectiles down.
yeah, the Swedes decided on 6.5 and got Mauser to build the rifles, the first batch anyway, and it was the 94 Swedish carbine originally they built, and then in 96 they decided on a long rifle and had the Mauser factory train their technicians, and the first, so anecdotally it says the first 30,000 Mauser 96s, Swedish Mauser 96s were built in the Mauser factory, and I have seen a few with Obendorf stamps on them, so
You own two of them.
yeah, I know. So I said I've seen them.
Yeah. So,
And but they are probably one of the best, smartest, nicest military rifles ever built.
Other than a
Bolt
Smelly.
action rifle. Sorry.
Other than an SMLE.
Yeah.
No, fucking streets out.
Even I won't admit to that. The Swedish rifle is like a Rolls Royce, and the SMLE is like a
Awesome fucking car.
no, perhaps like a Holden or something like that.
I'd say it'd be like a Commodore, yeah.
Commodore, yeah.
Good for the masses.
Yeah, that's
Not
right.
really, but not
That's
really
right.
good.
And funnily enough, around about this time, although a lot of countries were going to 30 caliber, like the French, British, the Yanks, the Russians, the Germans themselves eventually went to 8mm, but they started off building 7mm, and a very similar cartridge size. The Swedish rifles are 6.5 by 55.
Hold them flat so we can, yeah.
The 7 by 57 was, 7mm by 57 length cartridge.
And they even shot on, synthetic tipped projectiles back then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the plastic.
Funnily enough, they didn't.
That's an SST, already SST.
Yeah, that's a reloaded case I found. But they were shooting very similar weight projectiles. The Swedes originally were shooting at 160 grain round nose, and then they went to the 142 grain, or 140 grain, or 142 grain Spitzer in a cupro nickel. These are actually Swedish military. That's a Swedish military cartridge. Yeah.
So while the 7x57 is a longer case, does it hold more powder?
I doubt it. It would be very similar case capacity, I would imagine.
Yeah, because the 55 case is actually fatter.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention that.
Where's the Kikano case?
Oh yeah, I haven't got a 6.5 Kakano, which
You're missing out on the greatest 6.5 ever!
yes, right.
I thought it was Arasaka.
Or the Arasaka, I haven't got one there either.
How many American presidents have been shot with a 6.5 by 55? Fuck all. Kakano must be superior calibre.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we won't get into that. Lee Harvey Oswald was a fantastic bloody sniper. That's
I thought we had a fucking...
Yeah, anyway.
I thought I had a Kakano around in my collection.
Marksman.
Oh, I might have a Kakano around in your collection.
Yeah.
But that's a 6.5 55 with the original. No, that might be a...
That's an Arasaka.
That's an
There's a
Arasaka.
6.5 by 53, I think they were, the Arasaka.
What about Donkey Dick projectile?
Yeah. Yeah, they were 6.5 by 53. And that was their original projectile that they used.
That's a fucking projectile.
And later on, in its evolution, they went to a Spitzer type projectile. And then halfway through the Second World War, the Japanese actually went to a 30 caliber, 7.7 they called it, by 53. And then there has been a few companies think that 6.5 caliber 260 is useful caliber. The 6.5 284 Winchester, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm trying to sort my shit out. Normal, you blokes been fucking her up.
Normal, sorry.
264, what are you talking about?
265.
6.5, 284.
Normal.
So there was two crowded at the same time. Norma and Remington did it at the same time.
Oh, yeah. And
Norma said, oh, this is a great long range cartridge. Let's make it with a 1 in 8 twist barrel. We're shooting long range, blah, blah, blah. And they made the throat nice and long to accommodate it. Remington, in their wisdom, said this is going to be a varmint caliber and made it with a really short throat so you couldn't see out long prodigies. Well, we all know who won that war.
Well, who's still in business?
Yeah, well, that's true. It was a...
Sorry, anybody from Remington.
It was another cartridge design fuck up by Remington.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, and it goes on. It's in a
Oh, there's an actual 260 Remington. There you go.
There we go.
Not wrong box.
260 Remington's made on a 308 case, so it fits in the same length action. But another time that Remington didn't quite make the grade, the 6.5284 is made on a fatter case with a rebated rim, so it will still go in the short actions, and you can use a 308, 243 bolt face, but you get a fatter case, so much more powder, and they are quite a performer. Renee's got one of them, hasn't she?
And,
So 6.5284.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
and we had one on the shelf for a little while. Has that been sold, has it?
6 dash.
Oh, there's a dash.
Yeah, there's one. Well, there was one on the shelf. Yeah.
So originally 6.5 was a pretty popular military calibre, and other than that, there was very little effort to make 6.5 a useful recreational hunting calibre. Winchester developed a 264, which was a 264 Winchester Magnum, which was wonderful, apparently very high velocity, burnt barrels out fairly quickly.
That's another one. That's an early fucking 6.5 by 68.
Yeah,
That's an early German version of a high performance 6.5 that was before its time because you couldn't get powders to make it perform correctly.
yeah. On the continent in Europe, 6.5 was relatively popular, mainly because the Swedes just kept using it forever. They still use it as a hunting cartridge, and I think they still use it on their 600 metre range. You know, like our big bore range.
Yeah, 6.5 by 47 set the record now though.
Has it?
Yeah, so it's sort of obsolete.
Who cares? 6.5 by 55 is ever.
Who cares?
Well, don't fucking ask me.
Yeah, but there's an indication that the Europeans were after extra performance, and the 6.5 by 68 would have been probably equivalent to some of the medium-sized Magnums built in America. At the time the 6.5 Swedish was being developed, Mauser developed the 7 by 57, and they sold lots of those rifles in South America to a lot of the South American countries.
Well, then 93 Mauser was in 7 by 57.
That's right. Yeah.
But was that made prior to the 6.5 or?
No, about the same time. Very much. Very.
The 93 and the 94 were about the same time.
Yeah.
And then they became the 96 and the 98.
That's right. The 93, Mauser developed from the 88. He went to a new design virtually, which was the 92, which was a bolt with a flat on the bottom of it.
That's a 93, isn't it?
And the 93. Then
Oh,
they changed a couple of things in it, and it became the 93. And they.
So Brian's Blazier rifle, is that a 93 or a
I think
92?
that'll be a 93. Yeah. I think that's got the round. The bolt is round.
No, it's got the flat on
It's
it.
got the flat on it still? Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they sold them
pretty
in.
sure. No, maybe it is a.
Isn't one.
I know it's pushed to close, and you know,
It's
like
a
cock on close.
416 or
right, yeah,
525 or a
It's the old
735.
one. But they sold them in around the turn of the century to the Boers in Africa, and they performed so well. The British had a big think about the SMLE, about the 303.
And only continued to use it for the next 50 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You don't want to rush into these things.
But in the same thing happened to the 7mm in Europe. They developed bigger capacity cartridges, like the 7x64 was a long action. Probably it may have even been one of their Magnum Mauser.
No, it's 38 6 length.
30-06 lengths, isn't it? So it'll be long action Mauser 98. And they made a rimmed version, 7x57 rimmed. You can see the difference in the size of the rims. This is for break open rifles. Europeans love their drillings with a couple of shotgun barrels on top and a rifle barrel underneath. Quite often in 7mm, quite adequate for shooting their game in Europe. This round here is an early-ish, not that early I suppose. I remember it when I was a young bloke anyway. It was advertised, Schultz and Larson made a rifle and they chambered it in a 7x61 sharp and half it was called, and it was he probably gained some inspiration from Weatherby's early attempts at Magnum cartridges, because it's a belted Magnum.
Look how steep the shoulders are.
Sorry?
Look how
Yeah,
steep the
that's
shoulders.
right. A very steep shoulder, short neck, and in 7mm again. So it would have been a hell of a performer.
So
No, that's
rugby
not
player.
what that is.
Isn't it?
No,
No?
it's what the head stamp says. That's a Max Williams 25 cal. So Max Williams got the 7x61 sharp and half case,
Right.
necked it down to 25 cal, and made like a 25 fucking super duper suck me off round. I don't know what they called it, but he gave me a couple of rounds.
Oh, okay. So
Well, that's the
case.
parent case.
That's the parent case.
See, what's that? Is that Kikata?
Might well be, yeah. Yeah, it's about 51mm long.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, so we have
Stick
got
'em-
Kikano.
Stick them all together.
That's the Kikano. That's the president killer.
Sorry if you're watching any Kennedys.
Yeah.
What was his brother shot with?
Oh, a little Derringer.
It was a
type,
Derringer?
Yeah, little handgun.
Oh, yeah.
Little silver thing about that big.
Yeah, right.
And it was all on film too.
Was it?
Yeah.
You'd have been lucky, wouldn't you?
Oh, how unlucky can you be?
I don't think luck had much to do with it.
No.
Hey, Jace, how are you, mate? What are you cooking up this week?
And then Weatherby, of course, got into the mix with their 7mm rim, 7mm Weatherby Magnum, which is in a
That was much later, right?
fair bit later. Yeah, this the 7x61 sharp and half would have been 60s, during the 60s. That was developed. Yeah, Weatherby were developing his cases earlier than that, though, weren't they?
Yeah, I don't think he had a 7mm out. It might maybe late 60s.
Yeah.
I know he made a 270 and a 7mm.
Oh yeah. Cover all bases.
Yeah.
And there's a Remington Ultra Mag case, 7mm again. How much performance have they got?
Well, I fire a 180 gram projectile at about 32, 50 feet per second or something.
Only tame. Yeah.
Just a little mild. I could actually load it up a fair bit more.
Yeah. So.
But that was invented in 2003, 2004.
Is that right? That one.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on the 404 Jeffries case.
That is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's got no Magnum belt on it. Just
Rebated rim.
just a 534 base.
With a 550 body.
550 body, God almighty, yeah. So, oh, what's this?
7mm. I'm gay.
And here we have the latest iteration of a 7mm case.
I've got a couple of them in my collection.
Oh, is that where they've gone?
Yeah.
It's a 300 PRC case, neck down to 7mm by one of our erstwhile bloody trialers here. He reckons this is going to be the thing.
It is.
It'll belt the Creedmoor sideways, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
Without any trouble, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're shooting a bullet that weighs considerably more with a much higher BC faster.
But that doesn't matter, the Creedmoor's better.
It's fucking not.
And you don't have to have a man bun to do it.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble, I suppose, yeah.
If you have a sandy vagina, you stay with the Creedmoor. If you want to shoot a man's calibre, you move up to 7mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I noticed you got another 6mm there that's pretty cool too.
Have you just? That little baby there.
So what is it about all these calibers? What are you going through?
You don't need 30 calibre to shoot anything. Either if you don't want to, you don't have to have a
Are
high.
you talking from a military perspective?
No, well, that too.
From a
probably.
gaming perspective? Or?
For shooting targets, you don't have to shoot 30 calibre like a 308 if you don't want to put up with that much recoil. Shoot a 6.5 of any of these 6.5. Well, Swedish especially, it's renowned for being made a good balance of cartridge in a good rifle with a good barrel that'll shoot as well as anything you can buy. The 6.5 Creedmoor will do the same exactly.
300 rum.
Huh?
Oh, I just held that up. Wet his pants.
6.5
And
latte.
it will probably shoot very much the same as a Swedish Mauser, and maybe even a little bit less recoil, but hardly noticeable. And the same with the 7mm. The 7x57 is a relatively mild round to shoot.
Cartridge.
Good enough for hunting in WA. You shoot correctly, especially here in the south. Anything down here with a 7mm, pigs, goats, kangaroos.
Yeah, the problem you're going to have is correct bullet selection.
Yeah,
Terminal performance. All our game is too light.
yeah,
Unless you go up north, unless you're going after goats and donkeys and camels and shit.
yeah.
Then old mate use that to shoot like heaps of cheetahs and lions and stuff in
Elephants.
India.
Yeah,
So
bloody
fucking heap of elephants.
Elephants.
Karamojo Bell or something.
Karamojo Bell,
Yeah, you shot heaps of elephants with a 7x57. You knew what he was doing.
I kept thinking Flamenco. I'm pretty certain Sharon's a race team.
He was the same bloke who was flying planes in the First War or something, like biplanes and shit, against the Germans. He didn't like using the guns on an aircraft. He'd stand up and fucking shoot one of his rifles.
Ken reckons, don't forget the 6mm PPC.
We're not going down
Bit
as
of a
far
girl's
as,
colour by that one, to be honest.
we're not going down as far as 6mm, 6.5 and 7 tonight.
No, alright.
And yeah, those gay 6mm calibers, yeah.
Another game about that, mate.
No. But yeah, you do a lot worse than to shoot a 6.5x55 or a 7x57 if you wanted to shoot any game in the south of the state here.
I do in my collection.
And especially for target shooting.
It's loaded.
Any of these 6.5 Creedmoors, what are they, 1 in 8 twist barrels they use?
Yeah, 1 in 8 twist for a
Yeah.
6.5 Creedmoor, up
Yeah.
to 142
Yeah.
weight projectiles, typically speaking. Although manufacturers nowadays make like 147, 154 grain projects,
Yeah.
but you're better off going to a bigger case if you're going to shoot them, because you need a faster twist, you
Yeah.
need a 1 in 7 twist.
Yeah.
And 6.5 Creedmoors actually do really well with slightly lighter, like high BC 130 grain projectiles, because they shoot them at a better speed.
Yeah. But what about, because they're talking about these being accurate to 1,000 yards plus.
Yeah.
140 grain, what about 130 grain? Would that be the same?
Yeah, it'd be similar. It'd be within 100 metres.
Yeah. The thing that amazes me about it all is that the Swedes in 1894 designed a cartridge that has lasted, 130 odd years, and is as good now as any of these others.
Well, it's definitely worthwhile advocating.
Yeah.
It does offer a significant advantage in velocity over a 6.5 Creedmoor. You can still buy factory ammo for it.
Yeah.
Tikka still make rifles for it. You having a rifle built's worth considering.
Yeah.
6.5 by 55 improved actually is another, it's one of the improved cartridges that I'll actually advocate for.
Yeah,
Because it is a significant advantage over that original case, because the original case was so tapered, so it would come in and out of the rifles easily.
that's right. And that was why you'll see all of all of the cartridges designed around the 1890s through to the 1920s are all got lots of body taper, usually got a fairly long neck to hold the projectile in place for use in automatic machine guns and so on, and semi-auto rifles. Nowadays, especially in recreational hunting cartridges, you can afford to have a reasonably sharp shoulder and less body taper, and and of course that gives you more powder capacity. So you don't have to worry about the fact that you might get a stuck case. A gun that's hot that you just fired by 35, 40 rounds through, and then all of a sudden you get a stuck case. It won't happen with these, because you're not going to fire 30 or 40 rounds in a hurry and get a red hot rifle chamber. So, but there's been very little. I shouldn't say very little, but hasn't been very much development of 6.5 calibers since the bloody 6.5 Swede, until, and the popularity of the Creedmoor has proven that all of a sudden we've got this U-Gurt cartridge, and it isn't bad. It's a good cartridge. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but it's the reason 6.5s haven't been popular, because they weren't invented in America. Americans had 2 goes at inventing 6.5s with the 264 Winchester, 260 Remington, and fucked both of them up. That's why no one uses 6.5s. Now they've invented the 6.5 Creedmoor, pretend like there's fucking new invention. Now everyone's bloody using it. And it's because they can get industry behind it. Unless it's popular in the States, you can't get industry behind it, it won't be popular.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because I think the US Navy had a 6mm calibre at one point, didn't they?
6mm Navy.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
It was before its time. They couldn't get slow enough burning powders to use it efficiently.
Yeah.
They used to burn barrels out too quick. It was the predecessor to some of the other small bore things, but it was actually the parent case for 220 Swift.
That was a fairly fat case.
No, it was skinny compared to a 308.
Well, yeah.
Fatter than 223. It's about a 420
fairly big
base diameter,
Yeah.
but the rim they made 473, so it would work through a 308. But it's longer than like a 223 and that sort of stuff. So it's got a bit more grunt than a 2250.
Yeah.
So, but that's what it based its parent cartridge on. That's why I got that. I got a fucking one of those rotary bloody military actions, the rotary magazine.
Oh yeah, the Mannlicher.
Mannlicher. I tried to get one of them to feed 220 Swift rounds years ago.
Mannlicher.
Funny name, serious rifle.
Yeah. So
Anyway, there you go. A few old cartridges, a few new ones,
Couple of ultra new ones.
a couple of ultra new ones.
Awesome setups.
Oh, what this? Oh.
Get them before they'll take off.
It's all good fun.
For those of you not in the know, that is Trent's 6mm Punchy.
6mm Punchy, there it is.
Yeah, now compare it to the 7mm Punchy.
Where's that?
Right on the end there.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Look at the size difference in that.
Yeah. There's hardly any difference at all, is there?
Nothing. Not according to police licensing, anyway.
don't ask.
I had to ask what the difference was between the two.
Well, in all fairness, there's no literature anywhere on it.
Yeah.
No, true. They had to give him what the parent case was, though.
It's not like you can just look it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think this will be very good, this one.
Not compared to a 303 anyway.
No, 303 will eat.
Cool.
It's definitely not it hasn't won any wars, does it?
Oh shit, we
Not
do.
yet.
Not yet.
Do you want me to put them away? So you don't risk fucking it up?
Yeah.
Nah, just
They're all seven.
Just put them all there and I'll get Trent over to start talking to them.
They're 7, 6.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Just throw them in there anyway. It's all good.
Fuck off.
He doesn't care. He pretends he cares, but he doesn't.
That's 260 Remington.
Oh, okay. You can have that.
Is that 7mm for shooting cats Macro pod, that 7mm is used for shooting every fucking thing.
It's not used for anything at the moment.
Well, it's not used for fuck all because somebody won't hurry.
Why is this here? Does it have to be there?
It doesn't have to be. So, how's that for sorted?
In another cartridge demonstration. So a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to you guys about how I went out shooting with a couple of mates, and I had a 6mm, one of them had a 6.5, one had a 25 cal, and the terminal performance of those two rounds was absolutely piss poor. And so the 6mm was actually performing better, to the point that both those other guys put those rifles away and got out. One guy got out of 204, the other guy got out of 22-50, and then they were mint. But I was reminiscing at the time, and I was thinking about how I really missed my Thrown and Mag. It was the first rifle I bought myself, and I built a beautiful Thrown and Mag, and then sold it because someone offered me money for it. And then I built another beautiful Thrown and Mag, a Kimber 8400, heavy barrel, beautiful gloss blue, oil finish stock. Someone offered me money for it, so I sold it. And then I had a couple of other intermediate rifles, and then I had another Weatherby Mark V, but the barrel was fucked in it, and I didn't know. And now I'm going to rebarrel it to something else. And Bill's got a Thrown and Mag, and so I dispersed with the idea of building another Thrown and Mag because Bill had one. They were gay. I've come back around, and for the kind of shooting that I do, it is quite handy having a slightly shorter rifle. I'm shooting Bill's 6mm at the moment, his 6mm PPC, which only has a 20-inch barrel on it. And I was thinking, of building something like that, so I'd like a 30 cal, but what I'm looking for at the moment actually is a 300 short mag rifle. I'm looking at a couple of different ones.
He's changing.
So I want a 300 short mag action. I'll pull the barrel out and throw it away.
Is he going to call it a wisdom though?
No,
Well, this is the
it's
thing,
not going to be fucking wisdom. Just let me finish my fucking
What
story.
we're going to call it the Zaine Jenner because it's transitioning.
You fucking done? No, what I want to build is a 300 Ruger compact Magnum. Now it's slightly similar bolt face to a 300 Winchester short mag, but the body's slightly smaller, but it still works off a short action. And I want to shoot 155 grain projectiles out of it because I know they work really well on a wide range of game. And it's a nice, it's not as much capacity as a 300 short mag, but that's a good thing because it's going to have a short barrel. So a 300 short mag, you're getting a lot of flash. So I want something bigger than like a 308 or a 3006, but I don't want something as big as a short mag. And so that's why I've chosen this calibre. So it'll be a nice compact rifle in 300 Ruger compact Magnum. I'll be shooting 155 grainers out of it.
Show us up close.
So it'll be a so this projectile here is like a 210, and that's a 175, similar looking to the 155 that I'll shoot out of it. So that's the round that I'm looking at the moment. So if you're in the same boat as me and you want a round that's going to work, really good terminal performance on a wide variety of game, but in a sort of small, compact sort of rifle, keep your eyes peeled, and I'll update you on my build as I go through.
Might make a good little blog series or something.
Yeah.
Do.
I don't know if I've got a barrel out there. 30 cal. I'll have something.
We got 30 cal barrel.
I've got some 30 cal barrels. So yeah, so that's what that's there for. So it's a good little case. Good
That'll
little.
be hard in.
Yeah, 155s. They don't exit on roos. They sort of just pop, and then the roo falls over, and then there's
Not much left of
they're like a rotten watermelon. Like you kick them with your foot and they slosh.
Terminal,
It fucking sorts them out. I mean, it's,
terminal performance
They
is what
don't-
it's all about.
they don't suffer.
That's,
That's
and
what it's all about.
But that's one of the things you've talked about before is when someone asks you about building a rifle or something like that, and they say, you ask them, what are you going to shoot with it? So you first off you should work out what projectile you need,
Absolutely.
and then what cartridge you want to put behind it, what case you want behind it.
And I've said this in written blogs before, and I don't want to get too fucking into it, but I've said before, the cartridge is actually one of the last things you should be choosing. You should be deciding what you're going to do first and what game you're going to hunt, and then you're going to need to decide on how far away you want to shoot it, and then what optic you need to do that before you decide what gun goes under it, and then before you decide what calibre that gun's in. You know, so there's a lot of other decisions to make. A lot of people start with the calibre, and I really think it's wrong. But it's because a lot of people don't know where else to start. A lot of people don't. They go, I want to throw away. What are you going to do with it? Well, they fucking haven't even thought about it. They've got a rough idea, but they haven't really narrowed it down.
Well, and if they're a new shooter,
And if you're worrying guys, I got really badly sunburnt earlier in the week. That's why I'm flaking and look like I'm dying.
no one cares.
I look like you're going to in about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
3
well,
weeks.
possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Anyway, but this is getting back to what we were originally talking about before we're talking about messed up skin. A lot of guys come in, they're either a new shooter or they're relatively new, and they go out with their mates, they have a shoot, they do a few things, and then they say to their mates, oh, what should I get? And the mate always go, oh, 203 or 308.
You should
And
get
that's-
what I've got,
Yeah.
because I made the best decision. It's a positive feedback loop, yeah?
Yeah.
They want someone else to buy what they've got, because then that validates them in their decisions.
That's right.
I don't want to get into the psychology of it so much, but...
No, but that's what it is on this side of the counter. You know, we don't put up with it, but that's what we experience every day of the week.
Oh, it's just human
All the
nature,
time.
it is what it is.
And pretty much any sort of shop or salesman worth their salt now will be asking you what you want to achieve with the rifle before you do it. That way then we can give you the best suggestion on what cartridge, what optic, what rifle you should look for or look at. You know, there's no point coming in and saying, oh yeah, I want to shoot 1,000 metres, but my mate wants me to get a fucking 22 Hornet.
Yeah, my mate's got a 203, and yeah. I want to go out and shoot roos. I'm pretty inexperienced, but my mate's got a 203, and he says that's all you need. Well, yeah, that's all you need if you're a good shot. Like, but 9 times out of 10, a 243 is going to be a better round for shooting roos. Terminal performance-wise and versatility-wise, being able to shoot them from any angle. I mean, if you're wanting to get into professional roo shooting, well then yeah, you know, you've got to consider the costs involved, the extra costs of a 243 and that sort of stuff. But I mean, you've got to weigh up all the options.
Quite a few guys, professional roo shooters, have a 243 as a backup rifle on a windy night.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's less affected by wind, heavy projectile.
Yeah.
And they get up a bit closer. A couple of guys have told me, oh yeah, you know, windy night I'll try and get a bit closer anyway, you know.
I mean, if you're hunting, that should be your ultimate goal anyway. You know, the closer you can get, the more you can be sure of your shot, and the better you're going to shoot. You know,
Well,
unless you're worried
I
about.
like them just up about 10 metres out from the headlights, so it's close enough for me.
Yeah,
Well, it
if you can
depends
hit
on
them
what
with
you're
the-
after. I mean, if you're wanting to test your skill as a shooter, then you're going to want to scare them so they run a bit further away, so you can have a crack at them then. But if you're a fox shooter like we were, like I was growing up, you know, like the way you taught me how to shoot, a good reflection of your skill as a fox hunter was to call the bloody things right up to the ute.
Yeah,
They'd run off because we'd be pissing ourselves laughing by how stupid these things were.
yeah,
Well, not stupid, but how easily fooled they were.
yeah.
You know, but it depends on what you consider the skill of your
That's right, Dave. That's right.
what?
Dave.
Yes, I know.
No. One rifle or cartridge will not do everything. That's why we have lots. Well, how am I fucking supposed to read it now? It's over there, you dumb shit. And then he says, "That's what
That's
I told
why we
him."
have lots.
That's what I tell the wife anyway.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Hey, you don't go out and play golf with one club.
that's right.
Yeah, something that unfortunately the licensing system in WA is such that you have to justify every case as being unique and different for a different purpose and that sort of stuff. It's just the way that legislation is. But there is a certain element of you know, me in particular, but there's a certain element of I want one of them because I am an aficionado. You know, I am. It's an interest to me. It's a recreational interest.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I've got a 20 cal. I had a 20 cal. Nick's now got it.
Yep.
I had a 20 cal. I've got a couple of 20s to do 50s. I've got a 6mm Remington. I had a 243. Got rid of it. But you know, I like the weird shit. I've got a 25 223. I've got a 26 Nosler. I've got a 7mm Rum. I want to build a 30 cal. I have a 308, but I never use it because I don't use it, you know. I've got a 338 Federal. I've got a lot of weird shit. And yeah, there's a bit of a crossover between them, but I really like the, you know, trying different things
And this is where
shooting different rifles.
This is where I think that part of the legislation sort of lets us down a little bit. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are like you. You know, if you've been approved for a firearms license, why are we then limited to trying to justify every single rifle? You know,
Well, certainly if you compare West Australian jurisdiction and our executive body that manages us, firearms licence holders, compared to other jurisdictions, there's a huge amount of mistrust.
Yeah.
Our local police in licensing do not trust shooters,
No, that's what it feels like.
as compared to Victorian police and Queensland police,
Yeah.
for example.
Because in reality, you know, there's a number of different. Well, it doesn't matter what cartridge you pick, but there's a number of different rifles that can fulfill different jobs in that same cartridge. You know, you might have your nice light hunting 223, and then you might want a target 223. It's got your fast twist barrel, it's got a nice big stock on it, great big optic. You know, it's a pain in the ass to carry. Why can't you have both? You know, that's
Yeah. And then you might have a ute gun in 223 that you use
Yeah.
for shooting foxes at night through a spotlight.
short little
The
barrel.
carry rifle's got open sights on it.
Yeah.
You know.
So, you know, we're handed driver's licenses, and yep, you can drive whatever car you fucking feel like, no problems at all.
And I can drive your car.
Yeah.
Because I'm licensed.
That's right.
And you can drive my car.
Yeah, and if I get pulled over, I'm not in trouble because I'm in your car without you sitting next to me.
Yeah. You're trusted, so well, just because you're not driving your car doesn't make you a criminal.
No, but if I borrow your rifle, we're both in the shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
I don't know if this is the direction we wanted this conversation to go.
no, but it's gone that way, hasn't it?
No, and I don't want to focus on it too much. I've written a lot about this, and I don't like focusing on the negative sides of
No,
legislation. So.
no. But this is sometimes where we go on these things. So, anyway, moving on. What are we going to?
I don't know.
I think one of the big industry newses is the
Uses.
It's a new word that I've made up for tonight. Is the discontinuation of some Leupold scopes.
Most Leupold scopes.
Yeah.
Well, the Freedom series is all staying.
Yeah.
But they've trimmed
They've trimmed some of the fat off that.
But the VX3 LRPs,
Gone.
they've already gone, and
Yep.
the VX3s, I'm told, the rest of the series,
Yep. I'm getting a change out,
they're going to be gone as well.
which is
So you're going to find out more about that February 6th.
6th.
February 6th, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Leupold's new newses
New news.
to come out and tell us.
So as soon as we get it, though, we'll be on the phone to Naya and ordering stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. Hopefully they replace it with something just as good, if not better, for the same price.
Realistically, that's a huge market for them. The LRP series, not just in Australia, in
Has to be.
America.
Has to be.
It's a product that fits in a niche and it offers a lot of features that people want. I think they're going to rebrand that scope.
Yep.
Maybe make a couple of little changes, but they'll rebrand that scope and it'll be re-brought out.
Well,
Yeah.
they did that with the VX Freedoms. They were VX1s and VX2s, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe they're not going away. They're just going to be called.
Yeah, that's it. It might be the same product that comes out just with a different brand, like different model number. You know, it'll be the same shit.
Yeah, like the BMW
Because that-
M3 versus
but
the
that's-
M4 sort of thing.
But that's what Leupold used to do all the time. Every time they brought out a new VX3.
Yeah.
So it was VX3, and then it was VX3. And what they did is they got the VX3 and called that a VX2. They got the old VX2 and called it a VX1, and then brought in a new VX3.
Yeah.
And then they did it again. They got the VX3, Roman numeral 3, that became a VX2.
Yeah.
The VX2 became a VX1. That's back when you got multi-coat 4 lenses in a VX1, which was fucking game changing.
Yeah.
And then they brought in the VX number 3 in there.
Yep.
So that's what they do. They just go,
Yeah.
Bring a new one in.
That's right. So this one might be
Bring a
the
new one.
VX3II.
yeah,
And one of the things
Honestly,
they're doing,
VX3.5.
all the
3.5.
all the low end scopes are all going to have CDS on them now.
Every Leupold scope's going to have CDS.
Yes, Chris.
Except for the ones that have got the specialty turrets on them.
Right.
Yes, Chris. Zaine is fucking something.
Do you want to talk about why you got sunburn? Or what you were
I'm
doing?
still fucking sunburnt.
Yeah.
What, you think it goes away in 2 days, Chris? Fuck me. Chris has got that bloody olive sort of
Daryl,
Mediterranean
I haven't
skin.
found out, mate. We've
Probably never been sunburned before.
we're onto it. We're asking them. They don't seem to have much answer coming from Lee at the moment. Hopefully, we'll find out.
Jake, it's a
relatively
336 in 3030.
So, hopefully, that'll happen.
336 SS.
Once we find out, I'll let you know for sure. Obviously, we want it to be done. I think they're actually waiting for parts to come in from Lee to replace the bits that are missing. But I've heard that it's actually not just the couple of kits that we had, it's most of the kits that were sold during a certain period.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk to Daryl about that next week. But, yeah, Chris just gets black over.
Yeah. What is the
Bill does that. How come I got screwed? How come I've got really weak skin?
You got it from your mum, probably.
You look like John Ross.
Well, no, she goes brown as anything. Yeah.
She does as well.
Yeah.
I got screwed.
Yeah, you must have been a throwback as a Scot.
Skip a generation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Darry. I've still got one of them sitting out the back, mate, that I can't even sell. So, yeah, that's why we're onto them, being that we've already paid for them. So, hopefully they can get their ass into gear and help us out.
Did you
Yeah,
want to?
exactly, Teddy. I just go red, peel, and then I'm back to white.
Did you want to talk
But me
about?
boy, funnily enough, me boy is actually getting a tan.
What do we want to talk about there?
Did you want to talk about what you were doing when you got sunburned?
Yeah, so last Friday we had a conversation about the media and that sort of stuff, and not talking to the media or talking to the media, or what's been good for the industry or what hasn't been good for the industry, and it sort of all led to, on Monday I was invited by Channel 7 to go out, and I provided firearms and munitions and expertise for them to do some shooting. So
Expert.
and it all ties back into the shooting that happened in December at the Motorplex. And so there's a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, there's quite a few people that are saying, you know, it could have been anyone. There's quite a few people that are saying it had to be an expert, had to be ex-TRG, SAS, sniper or some shit like that. And they were getting a bit sick of it. And so they wanted something definitive. And so I went to York, and I gave a safety demonstration. There was no coaching or anything involved. Obviously, I just needed to make sure they were safe. And there was Ben Harvey was there, and he's an absolute amateur as far as shooting goes. There was
a broken leg? Was it the guy with a broken leg? No?
no.
No, okay.
Ben Harvey's had 2 knee reconstructions though.
Oh.
He was sooking when he had to squat down for a little bit. There was another guy there from Channel 7 as well who grew up on a farm. He's done a lot of shooting in his younger years, but he's up in the city now and he hasn't been doing any shooting. But he's not an amateur, you know, he's sort of like the everyday shooter. And then there was me, who's probably not much better than him, to be honest. But there's different people from different backgrounds. And I think they did it like that because they didn't know what the results were going to be. Whereas I'm not going to tell you any of the results or anything. You have to watch the program. I don't think it'd be correct for me to just tell you everything that happened. Watch the program. I think it's called
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Yeah.
Beginning of March. I think
Yeah.
it said.
Early March. I think it's going to be on Flashpoint.
Hopefully we'll get a heads up before it comes out. We can let you guys know.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, I'm not going to tell you the results. But basically what the test was, it was just trying to define a definitive answer. How much expertise do you have to pull that shot? Yeah. So they had an amateur there, they had someone with an intermediate level of skill, and there was someone with an expert level of skill, supposedly, which was me. I'm a good shot. You know, I don't want to oversell myself. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of good natural skill and a good mentor to teach me. But I'm not a fucking bench press shooter or anything like that. But I also have an extensive knowledge in ballistics.
are you saying Cousins is better than you?
With one of his rifles, he'd probably outshoot me, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've outshot Cousins with his rifle.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd shit all over you. So maybe I should oversell myself a bit more.
Do you do? I've learned.
Is his Cousins even watching?
I don't know.
He
But
hasn't said anything.
what I've learned with him, right? What you do is you put the first 3 rounds in,
and if they're good, you just put the next 2 off the side,
Yeah,
and then just claim you put all 5 into that hole.
that's right. Yeah.
They don't know any better. Then you don't pull one.
So yeah, but the results were quite. They told a really good story, so it's worth watching. Anyway, we're out there. We got out there in the morning, and I thought we'd be there for a couple of hours. But as usual, the film crew fucked around a lot and stretched it out. We were there till 5 o'clock.
Hope someone from Channel 7 watching this.
They'd still be out there editing or whatever they're doing.
Fuck me, the dedication though. The film crew film like they have to do special shit to make it look really nice. And they did a film of like over the shooter and then out the muzzle and then down to the target. And he fucking walked 300 metres holding this camera on a gimbal. Like, it'll be spectacular, but fuck me, did we have to stand around in the sun while he fucking did it? I was a pain in the ring, that's why I'm burnt. He did it twice. And then he went down to look at the bullet holes in the target and was dicking around there for half an hour or more, getting photos, getting everything nice and, photography and videography and all that sort of shit.
It's always the media guy's fault.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he sat next to the barrel and he didn't want to wear earmuffs. He only wore his headset for his microphone so he could make sure that the microphone was working correctly. And he sat there for 30 or 40 2.43 rounds. And he said to me at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, I've got a bit of a ring in me." Oh, fucking no shit. What?
For those of you that can't
He would've
obviously
been
see behind the camera where our media guy is,
He would have been sick as
he's
fuck
sitting
on
there with a
Australia.
smile on his face going, yeah,
Yeah,
pick on us
yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
We're the guys that make your shit look good.
Yeah.
They're all fucking weirdos, but yeah.
Yeah.
Should get some palmy burgers when you do it.
Yeah, Chris. That sounds like a fucking plan, mate.
Next Friday.
Piss, so
No, I drink piss.
we're not a drink piss, so it's not really like a talk down the pub, but
We don't have lemon squash or something.
yeah. Lemon, lime and bitters
Yeah.
without the bitters.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And in winter we'll have some cough medicine or something.
Lemon cordial.
Non-alcoholic cough
Yeah.
medicine.
We're going to get one of those Carlton draft zeros.
Yeah, that's
Words.
it. Yeah. I wonder if they would suck about that.
Well, it's a zero. It's not a real beer.
There's no alcohol in it.
That's right.
And I
Is
mean,
it the alcohol or is it the the cultural thing?
Yeah.
so if anybody
Because
wants
we
to,
all know that shooters get on the piss regularly and cause fucking mayhem and whatnot in Perth.
I mean,
like shoot road signs and shit.
at the moment we're only using our water cups to display different products. So if you want a product displayed and you want to give us a cup for it, go right ahead.
You got a Night Force one?
We've got a Night Force one too floating around somewhere. Thanks to the new Night Force rep. Cheers, mate.
WA's got a new Night Force rep, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
He's a quite an accomplished shooter himself. So yeah, he knows his shit. He's a good bloke too.
I guess we'll be seeing more of them soon.
So yeah, and I've got
Yes, Dave, it is a water cup, mate. It has had water in it. That's all it
yeah,
is.
it's just a water cup.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Mel. How are ya?
hey
We're
Mel,
missing you.
I heard Scoot visited today.
Sure did.
No.
How's his face? Is he all fucked up or? Because he was like, he wasn't real impressed. He was heading off. He left here as late as he could. So
Yeah, he's going to go get his face chopped up, wasn't he?
yeah, something like that.
Get all his teeth removed, or?
Yeah, so he could fit in with the other South Perthians.
Oh shit!
I mean, I guess
don't know if that's a joke you can make about South Perth.
No, probably not, eh?
South Perth is good.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
he's probably. It's probably not too bad actually. It's they're not toothless because they're like on drugs and shit. Like not like toothless Rockingham people.
No.
They're toothless because Dave's probably the youngest person there. You know.
Yeah, how old is he? 61 or something? 63? Mel about it.
Yeah, Mel will be able to tell us. You think I care?
Darryl wants a headshot of all of us. Yeah, I can organise that for you, Darryl.
What do you mean by headshot?
Ross wouldn't be able to hit it.
Ross is a
Sorry,
very
mate.
good shot, sorry mate. He's probably a gut shot on most of us. Especially on this guy, he's got a big target.
Yeah, fuck you.
Only because you didn't think it.
No, I didn't. No, you got me there.
Yeah, so you already crapped on about products earlier on, even though this is something that we said we weren't going to try and promote too many products with.
No,
Because we want to have genuine conversations.
well, the only reason I did it was because
you were filling time.
No,
People
well-
sitting there fucking scratching their nuts.
yeah, and Marlin are hard to get now. So if you want to get your hands on a Marlin,
Yeah, true.
well, you've
That
got
is sort
to
of
know
a,
that.
that is sort of a
public announcement.
like a public service announcement.
Yeah, that's right. So make sure if you want a bloody Marlin, get down and see us before they're gone, because that's it. They're the two that I've got.
And that would be the end of it, yeah.
But they can't get rid of Marlin, though. Surely they'll just be rebranded
Oh, they
some
can.
way. Like they can, yeah, but...
They got rid of the horse and cart to Bill's absolute horror.
You can still get a horse and cart.
They finally dropped the Commodore.
Yeah.
Fantastic news.
Mm-hmm.
My question is though, it's funny how it's sort of they dropped the Commodore and now Mark McGowan's spruiking public
I'm
transport.
starting to pick on my arm. Oh, I'm just starting to
Because he
pump
knows
up
that they're
now,
not-
yeah?
You know, that's where they're going to have to go.
Hey, there are thousands of bits of cancer.
Oh, December, our cousin's turned 60. We'll have a big piss up.
Oh, he's not 60 yet.
No, we'll have a big piss up.
God almighty.
Not here, but
Yeah, so who else is having a big birthday this year?
can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
No important anyway.
Not important.
Nothing big.
Nah, nothing big at all.
Trent turns 40 this year.
Bloody hell, that's
So
old.
you and Dave will have like a joint 40-60 party.
Yeah, 60-40 party.
Mm.
Well, that's, I mean, when you add it up,
Yeah.
we're 100% great guys, so it makes sense.
Adds up to 100, doesn't it?
Oh, I'd say it'd be more like 40% cunts and 60% cunt.
Yeah.
No, it'd be the other way around though. Dave would be the 40%, you'd be 60% cunt.
Macro point 40 is that old try harder.
Yeah, just try it out.
No, I'm right, mate. I didn't really want to try this hard, to be honest.
How's ammo going?
Really
We're in
poor.
public service announcements. What's ammo?
It's
I mean,
It's
typically
there.
we stock CCI rimfire ammunition.
Yep, which
How's
is-
that going?
poorly. So most of the stuff is on back order. The more I watch what's happening, the more there's movement. However, because it's been on back order for so long, the back order lists are getting bigger and bigger, and what's coming in isn't matching it in its entirety. Hopefully that will change in the year, but I can't say for sure. It's the same with primers, so we do Federal and CCI primers. Federal and both CCI, they're both fairly difficult to get. Federal especially. CCI, there's a few getting around, but not a great deal. Moving into your centerfire ammo from Federal is not too bad. There is some lines that are missing, and then some bits and pieces in those lines that are definitely difficult to get. The more popular stuff, such as the 3030 blue packets. However, we can still, I'm pretty certain we can still get the hammer down stuff. 223, it's there, but it's in small numbers. 243, I think there's no 80 grain soft points left.
Didn't you order some 87 graders?
Yeah, but they're
From
from
OSA?
they're from OSA, so I'm just talking about Federal stuff at the moment.
Oh, I'm just talking about ammo in general. But
Yeah.
okay. But some of that 87 grain stuff will have to be as well, because we need it for.
Yeah, for training, because we use it for training, so we get it in the tins. However, I can still get the 20 round boxes of them. So I've got them on the shelf still. I haven't really done much with the Seiko ammo. We don't really sell a lot of it. If it's something that interests you, I can always see what it's doing and order it in. Hornady stuff is near on impossible to get. There doesn't seem to be a lot of it anywhere.
So we're a couple of months out still from people having punch-ups in the car park over ammo.
Yeah, it's not quite powder, but rimfire is pretty close to powder. But like you can't get a stinger to save yourself. We have had the velocitors come in though, so that's a good start. But pretty much nothing subsonic. You know, like there's none of the subsonics, none of the quiets, none of the suppressors. It's just if you need it, use it sparingly.
There's a couple of lines that are available and that's it.
Yeah.
What about 12 gauge?
12 gauge is
I'm gonna go.
fairly similar.
All
Actually,
right, take it easy.
I've got a
See you
fairly,
tomorrow.
catch a bill, I've got a fairly decent supply coming. But if people do go a bit crazy for it, then it will disappear pretty quickly and I won't be able to restock it in time. If you just stay the course, buy what you need and move on, then it should stay in sort of half-ready supply. Yeah. People are doing...
Prodigies aren't great.
No, prodigies are shit at the moment. There's pretty much no Hornady prodigies, and it's just sort of being trickle fed through. But it's the same as most things. So, reloading kits. You know, if you're getting into reloading presses kits, nearly impossible to get. When they do, like I said, they just trickle feed through, right down to reloading equipment. You know.
Oh, RCBS have brought back their
Rock chucker.
rock chucker.
Yep.
Have we already said that?
No, but that's a good thing to
Okay,
find.
you just keep going.
Yeah, they're not due in until March, I believe, off the top of my head, April. But I do have a few of them on order, so hopefully they come in. That's the kits.
That's what RCBS were known for, yeah? And then they dropped it last year and had like the, what was it called? Something gay.
It's just something very generic,
similar, but-
very generic
Yeah,
sounding
there's
name,
a-
really.
Yeah, the
Rebel.
marketing team was
Like no one knows, no one remembers it because it was
Yeah,
the Rebel.
boring.
And then, yeah, that's right, Rebel. And now they brought the rock chucker back, but I think it's just for the Australian market because everyone knows it as a good press.
They still got the. Have they got the orange? Was it the orange crusher or something? They
That's
had
Lyman.
Lyman, right?
And Lyman did that too. They went to Brassmith.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like
Oh, okay. They're still got that
that.
then.
Daniel, no. Yes, there is a limit to how much gunpowder shops can store. We're limited based on our license and our magazine capacity that we've been licensed for. It varies shop to shop depending on what room they had and a bunch of other criteria. So most shops hold between 50 kilos and I think 200 is the maximum that I know of in WA. Could be wrong on that one, but I don't speak to other shops about what they hold. And we will only get that amount delivered each delivery time. So with us, we can only hold 50.
Doesn't matter if you got 1,000 at the moment, you can't fucking get it.
Yeah, I've got many kilos on back order. However, once a 50 lot comes up, they will only drop 50 off at the shop. And unfortunately for us, that means that most of it's back ordered and pre-sold. And at the moment, it seems to be between every 6 and 8 weeks that we're getting a delivery. Like we haven't had one since before Christmas. So this is coming up on sort of 6-7 weeks now. And I still haven't been notified that there's another lot coming. But I couldn't give you a good answer as why it's a production issue or too much has been sold elsewhere or whatever. I really don't know the answer to that, sorry.
What was I going to say?
Don't know, but we're running out of time. Nearly time to turn off, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we've spoken a lot of shit.
Well, that's what people like to see.
If I pull a gun apart, the Facebook would delete the video, so
Yeah, Facebook have been particularly unfriendly to us.
maybe I'll do that on separate videos. Have we tried running concurrent Facebook live videos?
Well, we can't because we're running off a phone.
Yeah. Okay.
If we when we get Facebook working on the computers, we'll be able to run, you know, lots of broadcasts at one go. But we could do the gun pull aparts on YouTube. YouTube live.
Oh,
yeah, well, we could run a second phone concurrently for
And
YouTube.
we've also got to do a chat coming up for the Hunter class, the Perth Hunter class page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've been asked to do that, guys. So it means I have to sit down and do something about that.
And not that it means fuck all now, but Jared and I are holding a
bipod shoot.
bipod challenge on Sunday.
Yep. I think it's
We're
20,
going to shoot off. It's the bench rest guys, but they're shooting off
I
bipod.
think 25 or 30 bucks to enter, something like that. If you are keen, get a hold of Jaredale. It might be a bit late, but I think the more the merrier. Get down there and have a go.
We just give out Scoot's personal phone number.
Yeah, that's it. He'll love that.
Yeah, we'll just ring him up all weekend and sign up.
The other thing that me and Zaine are going to try and do a little bit more of is actually get out maybe once a month or once every 2 months, have a shoot somewhere at a range, maybe film it, have a talk about what we're doing or whatever.
So hopefully that comes to fruition. But once again, it's all about time, and we do this shit off our own bat in our spare time. So
Do what?
videos and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Sort of.
Oh yeah, that's right. You get paid regardless. I don't get paid for this one.
I don't get paid for this.
Of course you
I
do.
could be at home and I'd still get paid the same amount.
Oh, true. Well, I don't get paid either for anything. So.
You love it.
I do love it. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I don't know if you're going to want to talk about anything else. One thing I do want to say though.
My captain. Oh, someone's come to me and asked me to build him a cannon. There's actually a couple of cannon clubs in Perth, and so they shoot smoothbore cannons.
Tell me to get it.
No,
No, it's a client, so I don't really want to bring
you
it out.
can't bring it out.
So-
Not unless you get actual permission.
Oh.
Yeah, but he wants me to build him a cannon. He's going to come down and talk to me a bit more about it. But I'm going to build a couple of cannons. Smoothbore, they take 45 rounds. But talking about the captain, while you're talking today, that if we make one of these cannons and it works, the next step would be to build a little wooden boat that we can jump on
And shoot.
and shoot. And we'll have cannon wars. You know,
Yeah.
we'll have like Bismarck wars. We'll have to.
So the
we'll have
dig
to build a cannon.
Well, not quite Bismarck. Maybe a little bit earlier than that.
A little Bismarck.
Yeah.
So
maybe like HMAS fucking Endeavour or something. They probably didn't even have cannons, but
Pirates of the
They
Caribbean.
had a couple.
Shit.
probably had a couple. But
I think they had like
yeah,
4 or
just,
something.
just to take on the French.
But how cool would that be? A little 2-person boat with a cannon on
So
it. and shit?
you mean going to dig up one of the crops at the farm and have an ocean?
Yeah, we could float the boat on the dam, and you have to shoot a target down paddock, like with the fucking boat going like this, and you go boom.
I'm sure the neighbours will be stoked.
But these guys all shoot like 44 cannons, and they're only little. They're only like this, which is pretty cool. But I was wondering if their rules actually restrict you on calibre, because I'd like to make like a 2-3 inch bloody cannon and take it down there and.
Keith, that could be a fantastic achievement and a fantastic assignment for your kids, mate.
Yeah, I want to build a trebuchet.
If you build a trebuchet there at
no, I
school,
want to build a trebuchet.
let us know how it goes. And I'm certain, I went to that high school, I'm certain they'll allow you to do it.
I want to build a little trebuchet first, but I want to build one
Yeah.
that'll throw like carbides and shit.
What I wanted to say, before I was rudely interrupted by your cannon spiel, is I've been watching the numbers that are watching us live today, and it's
Phone
fantastic.
numbers on the website apparently for Jarado, so go to Jarado and the phone numbers on there, ring them up, sign up for Sunday.
Our numbers watching us live at the moment are actually higher than they've been for the past, since we come back from Christmas break. So thanks very much for getting back in behind us and watching us on a Friday night. The more the better, so tag your mates, get them watching.
No,
Yeah.
we don't make good cheese platters, sorry, John.
Get
But I
stuck
know
in.
someone who does.
Get stuck in. Let's get this channel back up to where it was. Mid last year we had over 20,000, even up to 30,000 views per episode. The more we do that, the more we get ourselves back out in the media, the more people are watching, which means the more the sport becomes mainstream, which is a good thing, which means we're not going to have the problems that we're having with the media at the moment. So let's get in, let's get that done. And that's up to you guys to do that. We're doing everything we can our end. So
Yeah, the more we're out there, the more our sport becomes normalised again within society.
exactly.
Because it was only like, 25 years ago,
Yeah.
where it was hunting and shooting and stuff was a relatively mainstream sport.
Yeah, I know, Bruce. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I don't know whether I 100% believe you on that statement, but we'll go with yep, thanks.
I'm certainly here for brains.
Yeah. Well, one of us has got to be the good-looking one, I suppose.
That's true. Let's see how that pans out. Once you were shaven, you look like a fucking minx.
Thumb. So, yeah, we'll do that. But thanks very much, guys. We do appreciate it. Like I said, we do this on Friday night for you guys, for you guys. We like doing this, so
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the actual platter. Like the food that goes on. I just made the board that it sits on.
So,
I've got to make another one now. Someone found out that I made one.
but anyway,
I'm not really keen on the idea.
I'm keen to go home. So, thank you very much, guys. We will see you next Friday. Tomorrow is me and Ross. So, if you want one of those Adlers, get down here. If you want one of them Marlins, get down here.
My weekend off. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Zaine's having the weekend off again.
Again, I've
So-
worked the last few
Yeah,
Saturdays.
I like the last two because I'm awesome. Thanks for all the thumbs up, guys, and the laughs. That's a great
Really appreciate it. And yeah, have a great weekend. We'll catch you on
Love
tomorrow,
you
hopefully,
all.
or Monday.